with their cell phones. Get started and
We're gonna get
all set. Shall we rise to the pledge? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty, and justice for all. Good morning, everyone. Stacy, I'm gonna miss this chair and go right to the floor.
We'll pick you up after.
You can stop laughing for it, really. Minutes of our Board of Selectmen's meeting held on June 17th. Could I have a motion to accept those minutes if there's no changes?
Okay.
All in favor? Aye. Okay, we'll go start our new business, Lakes Region Public Access Contract Renewal.
Yeah, this comes up every year, for us to, I think, the first page of the contract, the Lakes Region Public Access, to be for our meetings, any other meetings that we, record and broadcast. They also do some of the school stuff, but they must have their own contract. This is been paid by the, this fee is offset by the cable franchise fees that we receive from Breeze Line and Comcast. This one is specifically the Breeze Line. Comcast does not have a kind of like a peg station. So this is just comes from their fees. I did pull, I can see this going away in the future as people now can go to YouTube and get this video from there versus it being on public access. I did ask how many people actually watch it on TV versus streaming it, and they're not able to give me those numbers. But historically, and the proof is kind of in the pudding, because the fees that we get are from subscribers. And we used to get, I'm just gonna go around numbers here, 57,000, then 56,000, then 55, 52, 46, 37. And now we're down to 28,000 a year in those fees. So you can see that the subscriptions are going. With this fee being $11,000, I would suggest that maybe in the future, if the fee is more than what we actually get in the cable franchise fees, then we would look to disengage, because then you would be, the town would be flipping the bill for a service that might not be utilized anymore.
Is this fee in stone, or can we negotiate this? Seeing that the fees have gone down?
So they base the fee on, and they do this for all of the towns, so this isn't just, it's a, for fiscal year 26-27, the fee shall be the $11,260.98, which is based on a 50-50 ratio calculation of equalized valuation, which is the DRA value with utilities and municipal population estimates as of 2022. So they take the equalized value and the estimated population, divide that by 2, and that gets us our each community's ratio, our inverse percentage that we have to pay.
Just a question.
I haven't watched public access TV since this one, so. I only used to watch it for the children's auction.
I mean, there's just that much less users, so you would think that.
I mean, we already budget this year, I would probably more of a handle during budget cycle, but next year.
Well, I guess
It's a 1 year contract. right?
1 year contract. We could obviously let them know that due to that we would be looking for a lesser amount.
Due to the fact that the fees coming in are almost the same, if not
Right.
going to be less probably in the near
Sure.
future, that we just don't see.
Put them on notice, so to speak.
Yeah, do it this year, because you have the money, wouldn't cost the town anything.
Yep.
Then before it comes to that point next year.
Yep.
Yeah, so I really like people actually watch that stuff.
Yeah, I would actually
Especially-
just kind of give them a
I think
heads
that's
up
We're going next year.
that we feel that it's, yeah. Okay,
Yeah, I should.
do you need a motion for that?
I did create a motion for you, because it does that. Or you
Make
just
a
sign.
motion to authorize chairman to sign the municipal public access agreement with Institution Public Access for 1 year and term in. The 1 year term in the amount of $11,260.98, funds to be offset by the cable franchise fees.
Do I have a second? I'll second. All in favor?
Right?
Any opposition? It's signed. Second is Heritage Commission alternate member appointment.
You received a recommendation from the Heritage Commission to appoint Susan Roach as a alternate member. This would be for a 3-year term expiring in March 31st, 2029.
Yeah. Any? Would someone like to make that motion?
I will. I'll make the motion to appoint Susan Roach as an alternate Heritage Commission member as recommended by the Heritage Commission with a term expiring on March 31st, 2029.
All in favor? Any opposition? Hearing none. 2025 tax abatements update from assessing.
So this year we had 9 taxpayers submitted 11 applications for abatement. Last year we had 41 applications, so there's been quite a reduction. Obviously, we haven't had a revaluation. When there's a revaluation, there's actually more abatement requests. One of those abatements was automatically granted under a BTLA order. So he went to the BTLA a couple of years ago and there was a settlement for an amount, and then we have to carry that through until the next revaluation. 6 of the abatements were denials. 4 of the abatements were denied, but there were adjustments made based on physical conditions or descriptions to take into account, wear and tear or things on a tax card that didn't quite match the actual physical property. Those 5 abatement refunds totaled $2,558 for this year. Compared to last year, we had 29 refunds for a total of approximately $52,000. There was one large commercial one last year that was almost $15,000, and that accounted for a large part of those. And some of those ones from last year were also carryovers because they did some of the abatements after we did the first issue tax bills, and so the values didn't get updated the way that they should have. So the abatements were all signed today. Today's the deadline. So when I leave here, they will be going straight to the post office to go in the mail for everyone.
Any questions? Any concerns? Okay. Tax deed waivers.
Hello.
Hey, Jen. You can see when.
I'm stealthy like that. So you guys have,
Have them here. In the back. Thank you.
it's tax season. Taxes are due tomorrow. We're busy little bees. So this is the first round of tax deed waivers. And it's for property owners who are currently enrolled and participating in approved payment arrangements with the towns, sorry, I've been working really hard. Although they do still have outstanding balances, they've made a commitment to resolve their delinquent taxes and have been making their payments as agreed. They also, over the last 2 years, have paid all of their current taxes, so they are no longer getting lien. We've structured their payment arrangement so that part goes towards current, part goes towards back, which I think is huge. I believe there's 10 in here. So I mean, this is 10 people that normally would just keep getting
Adding up.
property lien. Yeah. So in my opinion, granting a waiver will allow them additional time to continue working through their payment arrangement without the risk of losing their property. And they have definitely demonstrated good faith effort to meet their obligation, and I believe it's in the town's best interest to support those efforts as long as they remain current with their payment plans. If a taxpayer defaults, we can start the pay process at any time. It doesn't have to be a certain time of year. We just have to notice them in 30 days. So, but these people have done a great job. And we're making progress, so, yeah.
Good, that's all.
Thank you.
And then we'll end up signing that, right?
Yes, and then over, so I have to send out my tax deed notices by the 22nd or on the 22nd of July in order to get my 2 title searches in one payment instead of having to pay them twice. So starting in the beginning of August, I intend to come in and we'll discuss, but there's like 25 other properties on the list that we need to go over and decide what you guys want to do. All right.
So I need a motion for the tax deed.
I'll make a motion to approve the tax deed waivers as presented.
Second, all in favor? Aye. Any opposition?
Jen, you can say if you want for the next part.
Clerks receive scholarship.
Oh, yes. I believe Alicia told you at a prior meeting, I received a scholarship to the New England Municipal Clerks Institute, which is a week-long professional development opportunity. It's amazing. It's my 2nd year. And then my staff, Devin and Sam, are in their 2nd year of certification for the New Hampshire Town Clerk Tax Collector associations, and they both received scholarships as well. I'm like,
See that?
dude, it totally went off. It's like no more. There's nothing there. But they both received scholarships as well for the 2nd time, so it's very exciting. Yeah,
They're in year 2 of a 4-year program.
year 2 of 4 year, yes. Yep. So yeah, good times. Thank you.
All right. Okay, intro of new library director.
Come on up.
There she is. There she is.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Sorry, this is Trisha Stern.
Yes.
Yes. She's our new library director. She was with us in a part-time capacity at the library and she threw her hat in the ring and the applicant that the trustees went with, and she just wanted to come here to introduce herself and put a name to a face and.
Great, congratulations,
Thank
thank you, thank you. We appreciate that, that's for sure.
I look forward to working with you.
All right, thank you.
Thanks.
Joint Board of Selectmen and Budget Committee meeting July.
Yes, Tracy had reached out to me
Yeah.
about doing another mid-year meeting before we start budget season, which I can't believe is gonna be starting soon. So the only week she was looking for in July, and we can certainly go to August, but I would prefer July as I get the sheets to the department heads in August. And I meet with them in September, and then they meet with you in October, and then it goes to the budget committee in November.
Yeah.
The only week she's not free, I believe, was the 13th, the week of the 13th. And obviously, we're at the end of the first week already, well, not really the first week, but well, yes.
We've
So
started
do you
today.
guys have any
Hey.
suggestions?
Is this going to be a night meeting or a day meeting?
Probably night, where a majority, I would say half of the budget committee do have day jobs.
Okay.
So I'd probably say a 6 o'clock meeting during the week.
And the date, and the day?
You guys let me know what works.
Right.
Unfortunately, it's only, I didn't even have my meeting.
Not a Tuesday.
At least the first and third.
Yeah, the first and third Tuesday is, and that would be no, that would be available. 'Cause that would be the second week. So Tuesday would be that, doesn't matter.
November 7th, right?
7th?
She's not here that week, so she can't do the 13th through the 18th.
One thing looks like I can't do is the 8th.
That's beyond.
You get the week of the 20th. Any day there. Except Tuesday.
Here you go. It doesn't matter, tell us.
Well, we could either do the July 20th, or we could do Thursday, the 23rd. I mean, really any, I don't check the calendar, I don't think there's. Yeah, I don't know my calendar.
The 23rd, I think that would be fun.
Well, typically what night, the budget meeting committee usually meets on Thursday night.
Yeah,
So why don't we try a Thursday night to kind of
So-
keep it conducive to what they need? If that works.
Thursday, the 23rd.
At what time? They usually meet at 6. So it'd be 6 o'clock, July 23rd, which is a Thursday. Awesome.
You said 6.
Is that okay
Six.
with you, John?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, perfect.
Any other new business?
Yes, at our last meeting, we had discussed, a request for opening the Sergeant Park bathrooms. I spoke with Building and Grounds and Danielle, and, opening them at 8 in the morning and closing them at 4 in the evening, Monday through Friday, was what works for them. And I do see that Danielle put a sign up, so we will
Yeah.
keep them open until
So we have an issue.
until we have an issue, and we, fingers crossed that we don't. And we don't have the staff on the weekends, so you're
No.
not gonna be able to
Right.
pay overtime and or bring
No.
people in for. the
No, we
weekend.
shouldn't have to pay overtime to open and close. It's business hours. Yes, that's how you,
Correct.
okay. Any other new business?
Yes, I have provided you, just trying to keep ahead and on schedule and organized for the budget
Yeah.
season. I gave you a kind of a blank calendar for October. Last year we did Tuesdays because it doesn't conflict with any other meeting that may be in this building. And looking at other staff commitments, Tuesdays was the best day. Last year we did 3 o'clock, but I'm, open to if you guys want some days, some nights. I know the night meetings work best for like the health agencies,
Yeah, they have to.
and like the trustees. Yep. We usually have them come at the night ones. So you would suggest.
So the 2 Tuesdays that, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I get sorry. You're good. I was talking in your head.
The 2 Tuesdays that makes it hard for Mark is what was it?
First and third.
First and third, so the 6th
Nights.
and the 20th. Makes it hard for Mark at night unless we do it earlier. What time is your meeting?
Well, Mark might be in Ohio too.
Oh, third person here.
So, you know.
Can you zoom in, please, Dan?
Yeah, just
I
whisper.
can zoom in.
Just whisper.
Zoom in. So,
I can use my whisper.
So we could do the 6th and the 20th as day.
okay,
We could do you wanna do 10? I know
I think
Travis
the 2
too.
days number will be hard for me.
Yeah.
so the 6th and the 20th,
I should be here for those. After that,
then the 13th and the 20th, well,
Sorry, just trying to think.
that's okay. Then the 13th and the 27th, do it at 6, is that what we do, or 5, or what?
We did 3, I don't know what,
Oh.
Travis, when you can get here, or 4 or 5 or 6.
Yeah, because these will be a couple hour meetings.
Yeah, usually there's
4
2
was better for me than 3, it's a difficult time.
4. Open. Travis.
the big discussion.
We're discussing the 13th and the 27th.
27th up in Ohio.
So you won't be here anyways.
Be hearing.
Okay, so. So I don't care what time, 4 is better. What about you? Can you get here 4 or is 5 better?
Is it possible for the 6th and 20th to do it earlier than 10? Just so we can get them in and get through it before I get back to work.
We can go at 9 as far as I'm concerned.
Just because if I'm gonna get here, I'm gonna try to go back to work from Boston to be Yes, I'm taking 2 mornings in a row.
Sure. So why don't we do the 6th and the 20th at 9? Or you won't be here? Yeah, you will be here.
20th.
All right, so 9 o'clock on the 6th and the 20th. And then,
3 or 4 is fine.
4 o'clock on the 13th and the 27th. Is that okay?
Yeah, that was great for me, and.
And she just said for the night ones.
4.
4, you said 4 work better.
Just to be like.
Yeah,
might
that's strong.
or- I might be in, the 7th.
Well, as long as it's a majority.
But I'll come for the budget meeting on the Tuesday, but I might not come on Wednesday for the prayer. Depends on how my boss acts.
All right. I mean,
Changes each day of the week, so.
Or would you rather we put the budget meeting on the 7th after your board meeting and just have a very long meeting? So you can do.
Yeah, that's good.
I'd rather risk my job than that.
Yeah, I.
You did it last.
Yeah, and I wanted to go crazy. You're exactly all day.
Oh, yeah, no, no,
I
no.
had an 8-hour shift here.
All right, okay,
All right, I'll send you a revised one after.
Yeah, okay.
Yep.
all right. No other new business?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have to read my notes.
That's all right.
US budget meeting, the calendar. Would you guys like a Board of Selectmen table at Old Home Day? Do you meet Greek? Or,
I don't think it's necessary because I think we've tried that a couple of years and we just handed out a couple lollipops or something. I don't know that it's necessary, but that's my opinion. It was pretty quiet. I think it's better if we come and walk down through and make ourselves known and.
We could always go back, right?
Yeah, I said that.
Or if you guys wanna be in a parade, be in the parade, it's up to you. Don't look at me. Highly up to you what you wanna do with it. Well, you
I'm there
have-
all day no matter what.
Yeah, but you haven't been able to be in the parade because you were on a different
Yeah,
float. and
This
you were on a
year, we're
different
not in the
float.
parade.
Okay, so are you in the parade this year on a different float?
Not that I'm.
So I guess it's entirely up to you. You guys wanna do a float and be
Are
or.
you gonna wear your tiara? Oh, come on.
I mean, it's up to you guys.
It's very party.
To you guys. Who wants to jump on board? You can do a float. Well, years ago, they used to do a float.
The float requires
Okay,
Work
supposed
regular
require
time.
Work and time.
Here we
I
go.
sure don't have any.
And you don't have your
convertible
cars.
Oh, my convertible's gone.
Over.
Yourself.
Can we get the bear?
I
I was thinking tractor, but.
That was my next, I got a couple
Yeah,
tractors.
you bring your deer, I'll bring my new mount,
Yeah, no, I'm,
There you
put everybody in the bucket.
well, we gotta make a decision here, cause.
How about you just walk together and throw out?
go.
How about Rodney walk?
John said no.
Horses.
Horses, oh yeah. horses.
No.
Ruth and I walked, was it 2 years ago or
Walk,
3 years ago?
yeah,
And
behind
every
the car.
once in a while, he was driving faster than we could walk, and he had to run up some trying to ground work in.
You know, we can do that too, we can do a vehicle with candy in the trunk and walk behind if you want, whatever, I don't care. It's you guys.
Well, we don't have to decide today.
Well, it's
No,
coming,
you know,
it's
you have
coming,
time.
it's coming
Think back.
sooner than not. We'll have to do it for the next meeting.
Yeah, so it's not my next meeting, probably.
All right, I just needed to know about the table, so Danielle can get everyone.
Yeah, no, I was not.
All right,
Yeah, I guess we'll talk about the parade at the next meeting. Give everybody a chance to, huh? No, I'm not buying, no, I bought a tractor instead. I sold the convertible and bought another tractor. Right, already.
That's how it works. That was a good decision.
It was.
I give her a car and a gift, a tractor.
Yep, worked really good this week, believe me. Okay, is that all the new business?
yes.
Old business, townwide notification software update.
No, I kind of just did a basic thing. So, Alicia and I looked at a bunch of different software packages for this notifications, where people would be able to get text messages or get a notice through an app on their phone that they install, emails, some of them offer voice messaging as well. Some of them are, for mostly for routine notifications. Some of them are more for emergency type notifications. Some of them focus on, regular notices will only go through the app. And then you only get like a limited number of text messages to be able to send out if we have to pay for them. And some of them it's like 5 cents each text message. So it could get expensive to send text messages to someone that wants that as their way to receive things. And then the other big thing, before we can narrow things down a little bit more, is there are places that will do an app on the phone that has more features to it. Where it will have quick buttons for, here's a staff directory, who do you call about a driveway? Who do you call about a building permit? And here's a quick button to be able to pay your tax bill easily. Here's where you go to access application forms and things. And then it would also have all of the notices and things built in. It has calendar functions. A lot of the other ones don't have those additional built-in features to make those quick links for residents with extra little buttons. A lot of them is simply just notices and a calendar. So the pricing isn't too much different between the one that has the extra stuff, which is called a branded app. That one has limited text messaging though as well. So that is part of it, but the text messages never expire. You get 25,000 text messages that you send. And that one was about $5,600 for the year, and then the annual fee, for next year and the other years runs between $4,600 and $5,700 per year to continue to use it. And then some of the other ones were between $7,000 and $10,000, and that was the annual cost for that. And some of those didn't have as many features as other ones. One of the other ones that doesn't have the extra features but still has a lot of really good features was $4,000 to $5,000, so a little bit less expensive to go with an app that doesn't have quite as many features in it. So kind of looking to find out from the board, are we looking for something that's really going to give residents a little bit more usability for doing different functions, or do we really want to stick just with something that people can sign up to receive notices either by app, text, or email?
Show me how to do
You
it. Can you do it on a flip phone?
would get a text message. You would have.
Well,
to get it as a
The
text
text messaging, I think is gonna be expensive anyway.
The other problem that's been pointed out is, this wasn't in the budget, all right, this come out of wherever. And now you got people saying, well, if you can come up with this amount of money for this, where's this coming from within the budget that it wasn't budgeted? All right, that's what I'm hearing, all right? And there are a lot of people that, even though John has a flip phone, he's not the only person that has a flip phone. Okay, there's a lot of people with flip phones. So I'm hearing kind of since we talked about it back a while ago, I'm hearing where's this money coming from? All right, is this the most important thing? I mean, we're still early in the year, because it goes through till next spring. And should we be expending this kind of money for this without it already have been put in the budget? That's that's my 2 cents worth on the subject.
You ever have any?
You can take it out of some of the general expense lines, you could maybe take it out of the information technology line, I have it in there. And then we'd obviously incorporate it, and you could. Yeah, probably the information technology line. And I'm sure we could break up some of the payments from this year into next year, you know, this is really, you know, a solution for all the complaints that we don't notice people enough, or I don't know where the information is. And this is your way to be overkill of saying, well, this is your responsibility. If you want to get notices, this is how you do it. And these are the 5 or 10 different ways that we can notice you. You know, DPW loves the idea because we can do the geolocation, you know, if there's a water break on Main Street, then they can just signal that notice like, hey, there's a water break on this street, it's only gonna notice those people so that not everyone has to know about it. For police, you know, they can do the geolocation, you know, this road's closed, or we're looking for a lost dog in this area. You know, every department can push out their own notifications that are important. We can send out the calendar, reminders. Especially when we flush the hydrants, that is the hugest thing, that people complain about that we don't notice, but we do notice, it goes in the newspaper, we do the door knockers sometimes, we send it in the newsletter, so. It's just another avenue for us to appease those who say we don't advertise enough, promote enough.
It doesn't
Notice
matter how
enough,
much you do.
and none of this is free, so I don't know how people want us to do all these things without it costing something, and it would be way cheaper than one mailer that we would do.
Yeah, you know, I think it's gonna be worth it, like doing what Bruce saying too
Yeah.
about the
Well, I'm
perspective
just
perspective of
repeating
it,
what people have said to me.
but I'm open to pros up with the cons of it when it comes to the public.
So the newsletter is still gonna happen,
Yeah, and we.
and
can
who's
push
gonna
that
manage
out.
this? Because obviously, everybody's very busy, we hear that, we've closed some departments a day so that they can get caught up. Who's gonna manage this? Because it's gonna take somebody.
The same people who are already managing their own outlets now would just be one system instead of like Evie just doing Facebook and DPW doesn't do anything, but now we would have a means for him to go on and do it.
And it's
Colleen
like a
would still do it.
1 minute, it's like 1 minute to post a quick message. Then you click the button and it goes to text, it goes to email, it goes to the app, it goes to social media, all at the same time. And you don't have to go to 5 different places to post it. We'll go to our website and a little widget that goes on our homepage. It will post things on the calendar automatically and stuff, so it's pretty efficient as far as being able to do everything just at once, and it's like, you know, Parks and Rec and stuff will be able to post things as
So each
well.
department would have access.
Yeah.
Cause I could see us using this on weekend or, you know, avoid this area. I can see us using this.
Do they have, would they have mobile access to those
Yeah.
photos too?
Just give full access, do you want?
You're kinda hard on the field, you're like, where's my computer?
Right.
And right now, like if they post something or if any other department posts something, or even her, I have to say, I have to do a screenshot or I have to email it to myself, and then I have your Board of Selectmen Facebook on my personal phone, so then I have to screenshot it there, send it there, it's just so much work when you can have whoever, like if the user is in control, the residents are in control of what they want to receive, so they can say like, I only want to hear about stuff with the police department, I don't want to hear about anything else, so you're not like inundating people with things that they didn't sign up for or don't want to see, or you know, if they can click, I want to get alerts from PD and the fire and the Board of Selection. And then there's also, what is the alert system? That iPause. That is another thing too, that would go out to anyone who is signed up.
So on the mobile side, how many people are assigned or able to put that information in? So take the PD, would it just be who they decide, or so they could put 4 people or 5,
Or 8 or 10.
8 or 10?
But most of these are, you can have an unlimited number of users that can log. And then you can set up security permissions too, where, you know, maybe Brian's guys out in the field, they're like, hey, we need to send out this message, so they compose the message. And then it contacts Brian and says, hey, do you approve this so we can post it? Then Brian would approve it, or Noel, you know, whoever you have that's like your highest level person. Or you can just say, hey, I trust this person and we're just gonna let them send out a notification without needing that higher level approval.
Remember Nick's old chief back in the,
Nixon.
that was like before the technology really supported
Yeah.
it, but.
That was good technology then, though.
Yeah.
It's just, you know, I mean, you guys are gonna have non-supervisors working shifts, and something happens and there's a detour that's going in place or whatever. I just wanna make sure that they would have access to be able to put that notification out,
And I like.
or get it to any one of you
Yeah,
on the hierarchy side, prove it for second. That's all.
I just like it for the extra set of eyes, like I think that's important because you don't want to send out a type.
But for Brian, this would be great for you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get a 3 down or something, or whatever happens, and.
Yeah.
You know, you need to detour people, or at least alert them, you can. It's a good plan.
Well, at least we can go forward and still see like what future price. I do think I think we're gonna have to find one that includes text messaging, because we have such a broad base of some elderly and a lot like and younger that well, elderly can use an app, but the youngers don't want a bunch of text messages coming in phone. They want to use the app.
Right, and then they can go in at their leisure and check the
Yeah.
notifications or, you know.
And,
So we
and
can
we
find
can
it.
choose how to break those down too, so that like we said, you could sign up to get notices about election information or, road information or water or sewer, or, you can break it up enough so that people won't completely get inundated unless they sign up for everything.
And I do understand what you're saying too. At least we can see what the price would be like. I think that's.
No, I'm not against it
No, I
by
think
any
it's
means,
a
I'm
great
just
thing.
telling you what people have.
Just to be able. Okay.
And we all know that someone's, more than one, is going to challenge it and say, gee, if we can come up with these funds, okay.
So they halfway down Brown Hill and find it closed, they have to turn around
That's
the
right.
back. Then they wish they had it.
Of course, but you know how that works,
Right.
yeah. All right. So what do we need to do?
So
I guess.
kind of just looking for guidance from you guys as far as, do you want something that's more full featured, or do you want to go with something that's more basic? A couple of these would let us start, I think, with a monthly subscription, so we could try it out for a little bit. Some of them are like an immediate implementation, you can start using it right away. Some of the other ones are 4 to 8 weeks for implementation. Some of them will work with you a little bit on the pricing and what might be included for certain pricing. Other ones are kind of.
A lot of it too is you have to have like a good marketing campaign. You have to have, for those that want the apps, you would like scan the QR codes, you would, you gotta push people to either go to the app or go to a website to, and then they want to know.
Are we gonna know how many people are using it?
Yes, and there's the analytics about how many people read certain messages.
Right, because if we find out, 6 months or
Oh,
whatever.
yeah, you would wanna.
And we're going, okay, we're spending, let's just say $5,000, and we've got, less than 0.25% of our population that's even looking at it. That will be a telltale sign that maybe,
And then I would think too, over the years, or, as you go, like, you can see who is just doing the text, who is just doing the email. If you go with an app version, who actually has downloaded an app, and you could use that as a tool to either drop the text or, switch to a different company that might be cheaper, that only does, the things that are people are utilizing.
I think so.
I mean-
The police, fire and highway use it,
Yeah,
gotta get out there. And that way there, at least it shows that they're using it to notify everyone. And if you're not getting it, 'cause you're not opening, it's not their fault.
I'm not the tech person, so I have no idea. I'm glad we could be
But
the,
I think
do we
the
start with
best
basic?
bang, I think
or
the
do we-
best bang for the buck is where we need to go. Give it, see what we're doing, but I agree on the tech side. The text
Because
messaging
it's,
side.
it's really, you can't get any better than, we're all sitting here, we've all got these right here. I don't think there's any better way, other than hunting person down and talking to everyone door to door, that you're gonna get communications into somebody's hand. I mean, I think that's the best that we would get. So I would say going forward that you, because you did all the research, know probably what would be best for us, and then to just bring that back and say, I recommend this is why, and this is how much it's gonna cost.
But can
You
you,
should have like one in backup.
is there a way you can bring us a basic app one that includes text messaging and then a little more complex app one that includes text messaging, whichever one of each you feel, yeah.
You know, they would present a brief demo for the board to see if we narrowed things down a little bit more. We
Yeah,
can
if you narrow down to one of each type, like one basic, one advanced one that you feel is best, that includes text messaging in both of them, then let's go from
We may find ourselves in the middle of the road anyway, high and low.
there. Yeah,
Right.
there's a middle one
Pick the
there
middle,
somewhere.
pick the middle and go.
I just think the biggest thing is including text message, that's the biggest.
Yep, absolutely.
I
Let's
think
do that.
there's- Yeah,
Let's do that.
okay, so we'll come back with 2 to plan to schedule.
Well, they're saying the high end, low end, middle of
Yeah,
the
you find a
road,
middle.
right? But you might end up being 3, because otherwise you're gonna end up with a high end and a low end, and
There's one
and
shine.
then miss the middle.
Okay,
I'm just,
Yeah.
thinking that. If there isn't one, but, yeah.
And if they know we're doing that, maybe get a little more of a competitive approach
Right,
for the business,
yeah.
so.
I think the other thing was, this kind of brought up, and I'll just throw it out there, it's old, but I'm gonna throw it out there anyways. You know, we find money for this, why aren't we doing something with this building? And I'm gonna recommend or ask or think that we should really consider. Obviously, we know that we wanna get into this building. And I personally feel that we've made it very convenient in our town hall with all of our services for everyone, okay? And I'm going to recommend money-wise, because I feel that probably would be the least expensive. I would like some thought and maybe discussion and whatever done on moving our planning department into this building. Planning and our code enforcement, that whole side of town hall, is going on the 3rd floor. 3rd floor is what's planned. And I think that we should really consider making that move if at all possible. I think that that's the least expensive department in my mind, maybe, to move over here. I know that the way it's set up, it's pretty easy.
Yeah, the
Alright.
way we developed that space was
Right.
just moving, taking down a couple of walls,
Walls.
maybe putting up a couple of walls,
Yeah.
obviously just the floors, some
Yeah.
of the ceiling panels. The
Yeah.
only expensive part would be just the heating, like how they connect.
Yeah.
The heating system. and-
I think it's time that
But
we
that one we
start.
left basically as is, and only, like I said, there was rooms that were this big that didn't need to be that big.
Right, but the other thing is with that department and that particular floor, it is pretty, most of it is removable walls that are pretty.
Yeah.
And so I think without a lot of expense, as far as the layout, we could obviously get them moved into here. If a year down the road, you find out, well, this wall just isn't working, whatever, it's not going to be a excessive expense to move things around. But I think it's time that we start doing that. I think that if, again, people come in to register their car, they can go across the hall and do this and do that. And we've made it very, very convenient, all right? And I guess my feeling is if somebody comes in to register their car, they need to see the building inspector or the planning or whatever, you need to go to the other building, all right? I guess it's no different than police. Somebody comes in to register the car and they wanna complain to the police department, you go up the road.
Yeah, this isn't built.
No.
One spot.
No, and we're not, we're never gonna be. But I think it's time that we really consider putting some effort into trying to get them.
But you get all the printing machinery and stuff out
Bring that
there.
file
And
cabinets.
spread it out in the file cabinet, so we able to at least walk around instead of.
Yeah,
changing.
Yeah, it's getting to the point that it's just ridiculous.
You gotta walk sideways.
Yeah. My other thing that I'll bring up, which is always been a sore subject, but I'm gonna bring it up anyways again. And that is this ugly looking building sitting over here. I had the opportunity to go in it a month ago. I've never been in it since it became a post
The old
office.
bank,
The
The
bank.
old bank building.
the old bank.
All right. It is awful. It is just so beyond the use.
Isn't it leaking?
It's just,
Somebody said it was leaking. I've been in there twice in the last month and expected to smell mold and whatever, and it
Isn't
didn't.
that why the, what was that, historical society moved their stuff out of there?
Yeah, they moved their stuff out because it's not, building doesn't have any utility, so it's not temperature controlled. So the historical society moved stuff because they were fear of the extreme hot and the extreme cold,
Yeah.
hurting the artifacts. So that stuff is all down on the
It's-
third floor.
it's really sad that. I mean, if that was gone, pardon me. If that was gone, it would just make. There was a band there this weekend. What was going on?
So Danielle, they had the townwide yard sale on
Got
Sunday,
it.
and she had like a summer kickoff, so she had the band that's going to play at Old Home Day set up at the bandstand.
It was awesome. But years ago when we had concerts there, I think that was Linda Frawley's.
Yeah.
Organized some of that. And I went to 2, 3 of those, which was great. But the interesting thing is that you sit up on the lawn, the library lawn. And in the afternoon, which most times is when those concerts were, you gotta have a hat to go down over your face because the sun is right at you. And in reality, you should be sitting down on the, kind of where the parking lot or down on the base of the bank building to watch the concert, which to me, I'm thinking, again, it's gonna take a little bit of landscaping and fill and whatever to make that more, more inviting. I mean,
Thank you.
you go down there, you sit there by that ugly looking old building, it just, go Ron. You want,
Oh, no, well.
you can kill me.
I've been in the building business all my life, but. Going back to, well, I had mentioned the other day, because when I was looking at that retaining wall, the bulge in it. I was mentioning how that, you gotta keep an eye on that, because someday that's just gonna.
It's gonna go.
You get stone on the bottom, in the, depending on how the process, that can push that outwards, so you'd have to address. Keeping that from.
Instead of having to be reactive, we need to be proactive in that regard.
And as far as downstairs, I was in there this past week, with Legion stuff, and I was looking at it, and basically what it needs is some TLC. Cleaning up, painting the walls, fixing the ceiling, and then you move it into there without too much. The biggest thing would be, the wiring for the computers and that stuff. But for the most part, it wouldn't take.
You mean the here?
Right.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the bank building.
No,
I thought you were gonna do it.
no, the third
Oh,
floor.
yeah, that's not
Yeah,
good.
the TLC, and then I was mentioning, the first floor. The issue about, remember I talked about, earlier this year about getting the ball spill, getting the biggest money thing, that's gonna cost the most amount of
But
money.
guess what, Ron? You know what most towns do? They don't have a vault anymore. They have.
Well, whatever you need.
We don't need this
to-
big vault.
For the security of the town.
Yeah.
Records, which go all the way back to.
But the other thing to think about, Ron, if we put Park and Rec in town hall, the vaults are there.
Well, I
We
realize.
still own them.
But it's still, at some point, that building is gonna, you're
Well,
gonna have to put a lot of money into it, because it's either gonna collapse or there's a fire or
Which
something.
building we're talking about?
town hall.
So the town hall, once the use of town hall moves to this building, that opens that building up to being historical, which allows it to
Well,
go on the registry go for outside and all that.
It's gonna cost money, but because you're gonna deal with the, but,
If they can give money for the Yale building and everything, we ought to be able to get money for this town hall.
as a builder, I don't think it's worth that. That's my opinion, because
Well-
I've dealt with it.
You gotta do the foundation.
Well, it's, the truss work stairs is the only way
Well,
to say.
right, that's for another day. Let's go back, we're getting off on a tangent here. I guess my feeling is to move planning and
Thanks.
land use into this building. It's not gonna cost us an arm and a leg.
Right.
All right, and I think that's priority. And I also think priority is to clean up this building over here. Now, a lot of people say, we spent $200,000 to buy that building. We did 280, whatever, okay? We didn't buy, I voted to buy that, but I didn't vote to buy
Well, because
I voted the land.
that was before this building became available.
Right. But that site.
But,
So from another
I
perspective,
I just want to speak, I wasn't planning on coming here today, but I'm gonna tell you what happened to me yesterday afternoon.
okay, well, let's just don't hold the thought.
Yeah.
All right, let's go ahead, Sharon.
So from an older perspective, and I've thought this for a long time, and I know several people who do. It seems that the town lets things go. We spent a lot of money for the bank building, then we never really did anything with it, and there's no work that's been done to it, and it's just sitting there and it's deteriorating. And it's not necessarily anybody who's ever sat in a board or anything, it's always been about the money and not being able to afford to do this. And there's a lot of people say that that's the reason why town hall is the way it is, because we only patched the buildings when they were bleeding. The old police department is the same way. We had to build a new, and people are going, why do we need to build a new? Because you don't take care of what you already have. And there is a segment of taxpayers in the town of Belmont that feel that way. The bank, what is wrong with the bank? Is it structurally unsound? Could we not find use for it? I mean, because there are other things that we could do with it instead of just letting it sit there and deteriorate. And plus,
What would
Can't
we
do
do
an
with
awful
it,
lot of
though?
alteration in there.
What would we do with
Nothing
it?
but concrete,
well, so
Every-
right now,
walls, floors, steps.
yes, even, I don't,
Oh,
right
more
now,
concrete in there?
Yeah. And it's really
You
cut
got
out.
it's a post office and a bank.
Yeah.
I mean,
I mean, it was-
built secure.
the bank was upstairs, the post office was downstairs, post office moved, they had hair salon
It's a
and
hair salon.
the massage therapy place was there.
And I'll be honest with you, I went in there a month or so ago, and, not parking right, but,
Building grounds.
building ground, thank you. They got their weed whackers and their this and their that, and I'm thinking to myself, it smells like oil and grease, okay? It smells like a garage more than it does whatever. And I'm just looking at, it's all cut up. I actually went in there, 'cause I thought there might be a vault in there, right? But there never was, because they never kept enough money in that. It was a drop box.
It was upstairs.
Yeah, yeah, it's gone. It's not there. Well, there is a little vault there, like this. Nobody knows how to get into it or anything.
Oh, yeah.
So it's there. But I just think we need to, before we. That's my 2 cents worth. I opened a can of worms.
If we go back and look at the charrette we had done in this town, money was supplied by the government. They said to fix it up.
Yeah,
Then,
but I guess.
Because it's
Right.
historical,
then.
the historical society, and the heritage commission could use it. Or a museum.
Arthur Godbout built that.
That was that guy that he built,
He built it.
he was an airline pilot. He built several of them throughout the
No,
state.
Arthur Godbout was a mason.
Oh, the Mason. It's my understanding the person that built several of them,
Yeah, Don.
and they rented to the post office. It was a great gig.
Arthur Godbout built that building, because the post office used to be, well, the building's torn down now, but next to Henry's Barber Shop.
Yeah.
That was the post office back in the day, and they got the money for that and the bank. So that's how it got built.
And I guess my problem is that if you were to resurrect that building, you probably would have to do something with a different type of a
Gotta
roof and
redesign.
everything. And my feeling is when you're coming down through the main street of Belmont, the mill is our focal point. This building is our focal point. And now you fix that up and put a roof on it or whatever, you're not gonna see it. It's gonna be gone.
So you could probably get Spears to tear that down.
Oh, of course.
Probably 75,000.
Yeah.
But
I made it, huh?
I agree that about moving planning here is not a bad idea. We have to start somewhere.
We gotta start somewhere.
But I was curious, you said a couple meetings ago, you and Jennifer were looking into a vault for the church.
Yeah, we've actually, well, and I think Alicia's done a little bit of homework on that, and we had talked about going to see, but a lot of your towns aren't, you know, when you think of vault, you think of vault.
Mhm.
And in reality, I went and looked at where we're storing, and in reality, they're not fireproof situations because they've drilled holes through to put fire, I don't know why we have a fire alarm in a vault, but we do. And there's electricity in there and they've gone through the concrete. So they're really not, they're no more fireproof, they're probably less fireproof than what a lot of people are doing is buying, I think of a gun
Basically, they're like gun safes.
safes.
Yeah.
All
And they have
right,
fire ratings, 2 hours, 2.5
right,
hours.
and I believe Jen has to put the motor vehicle stuff, I think, within a vault of some sort. But we don't, you know, when you think about it, you think of big, and you can buy them now, free, whatever, but you don't need that
No.
big vault.
Just need a place to store
You just need it,
records and
right.
stuff like that.
Right.
Well, and that's.
The only thing that's fireproof on that vault that's in the town tax collector's office is the door.
But it's 2-hour rating, we built it out of masonry because at that time, there wasn't anything to put. So that was the reason we did it. And it was only temporary. We were supposed to be in that building this long.
Go to the
Trying to
police
build a new
department. That was temporary 22 years later.
Yeah. So I don't think that that's an impossible, I think there's a,
There's a solution that
There's a
doesn't need
solution.
a vault that needs to be
right,
built.
but those vaults aren't cheap either.
Oh, no.
All right, they're not cheap either, and we don't know,
Haven't for much.
no, nothing is.
No.
And you know, we have the filing cabinets that are fireproof.
Right.
We all know that's only to a point.
Well, 2
2
hours.
hours, right?
Yep.
So, but again, my feeling is the planning department with their fireproof records in those fireproof, you know.
The main thing here is this building is sprinkled, that building is not sprinkled.
Right.
So if you get something that can last an hour or two.
Yeah.
And then the sprinkler system.
Yeah.
That's,
And that's only as good as,
yeah.
right? Because you can have a good fire with fireproof files and everything,
Well, it's the water then.
and then the water's gonna kill it.
Water.
Right, they're not, right. One thing doesn't get it, the other is. And if we're gonna sit around and wait to be able to get voters to approve money, no, I think we should move planning. I think we should really
When you,
get down and dirty and move planning in here and start getting proactive at using this building.
So would you like to instruct me to, work back up with BPS? They already started the work with us and the quotes and the floor plans. Do you want to? re-quote all of this
I'm not-
again?
I don't know how much we really need.
Maybe a better idea, right?
Reinforced.
yeah, you need just
Okay,
get it
maybe
cleaned
we'll
up,
see.
look at it,
No,
see how
it's
it
been
fits.
absolutely.
And then you need to paint a room or whatever, see how they would fit into it, what they need, so.
And the other issue is the weight limit is, always remember, the more it's spread out, correct, Ron? the better, and the more those are outside walls versus stuck in the middle of whatever.
And that's
There's
how we
ways to do
designed
that.
their filing cabinet to be on outside
Outside
walls and then in different rooms, so that was.
I think that we need, but obviously, when discussing about all of this, this is not an open checkbook. This is, an inexpensive,
Oh, yeah.
okay,
Mhm.
because we don't have a lot of money, all right? And so, you know, I'm trying,
I think there's a lot of work there.
yeah, yes,
Probably a lot of that paperwork can be digitalized. You know, all those cabinets, a lot of that stuff.
can't be wrong, but it costs money,
Well, I know, but
time and money. Digitalizing everything is not cheap. You know, you're right. So. Yeah, I
I
mean,
should look into it. If
I think we really need
we get
to,
we have BPS take another look at the,
Cause they didn't give us a
Silence,
quote on floor by floor, we got a quote on the whole thing, we have the, you know, we already paid for the design, we already paid for the layout and, you know, those estimates, so it'd just be like, all right. What is it gonna take to do this? What can we,
Yep.
you know, maybe start doing ourselves as far as the demo, which the demo, you know, was.
and I would, well, it's up to the board. I wouldn't mind being part of that.
Yeah.
Only tend to be, my Yankees comes out in me. And, you know, maybe I know just a little bit too much or not enough, but yeah, at least I wouldn't mind being part of that. Questions, you know, whatever. So. I just think we need to get started on it. Okay, all right, that was mine. Ron had something he wanted to bring up that happened to him yesterday.
well, like I said, I wasn't planning on coming in today, but. Went to the ribbon cutting ceremony in Yale School. And I got home about 12:30. And I stopped at the mailbox, I got on my truck to the mailbox. Well, there's these 4 young men on e-bikes. They got helmets, and they got all the gear on and all that stuff. Well, they were coming down the road, and behind them there was 2 vehicles. And as they got down by my driveway, evidently, when they were coming from Gray Rocks Road, they went, because they're e-bikes, they probably going slow. They were riding 3 abreast. And the last car decides that he's gonna pass everybody. So he pulls out, and I stepped back as he went by my mailbox, and he's blowing his horn loud as he can. Well, the kids are still going down the road, and they're getting down past Range Road, old farmhouse. And this guy is still, or this person, I don't know, who, is still in the left-hand lane. And I'm thinking, if a car coming the other way comes over the hill, he's gonna pull to the right.
And then they're gonna hit the kids.
And clean those kids up. So I went in to see Evan this morning to talk to him about it, find out, he can find out who these kids are. Because they need to talk to that if they're gonna be riding on the road, they gotta go single file. But I know you can't think stupid, but we seem to have people that is gonna do that.
I went, get Jamestown and Hurricane Road. Where's Shaw? Hurricane. I'm doing the Hurricane Road, heading over to Lad Hill yesterday, and 2 gentlemen on, you know, 10-wheelers, whatever they are, regular bicycles, okay? And they were right there. They weren't on the side, they were in my lane, and I followed them for a ways, okay? Got to the end to go right on Union, okay? And they went right, and I wasn't pushing them, I was in not a rush, I was heading to the hayfield. And one particular guy, and they're not young, I finally went around them and got this, and
Whatever what I'm saying by my house, because,
oh yeah, they go,
well, what's happening in Route 3,
yeah,
because all the lights and all the traffic, I'm getting tractor trailers, I'm getting everything on the road.
everything.
But from the top of the hill, because they got a good sight distance, they decide that they're gonna pass. My question is, wow, well, like this, I've been saying it for years, at least get a yellow line and on these straight stretches on our roads, so they, because everything tells me that there's no law against them passing because
There's no line.
but we have a speed limit, but they're still, they gotta break the speed limit, they got to 50, 60 miles an hour when they're passing these. So
Well,
I noticed that we got yellow lines painted on Mill Street yet. They just repainted all the lines of Mill Street, Sergeant Street, and all those places. If we could get them on some of our country roads, like your,
did
like
we
your
do
roads.
this, or did the state do that?
That's always had one.
Back in the day, the highway department went out, put some lines in.
So,
But the thing is, a single yellow line can be applied, but it can't be enforced. Just so you
but
understand.
it tells those people, like, I got a yellow line, I'm gonna.
That's right.
It's not even allowed anymore by the MUTC.
No,
Oh,
it's not allowed, but if you look at the history of New England, it's a very common thing used as a guidance line.
Yeah.
So it's not a line that can be enforced, but it's a guidance line, because a lot of roads in New England, especially northern New England, the roads are black, there's no lights,
Oh, so they use
there's
them in the law.
no guidance line. So they're putting a single stripe yellow
So you can
to
see
give
it.
them an idea that the road's turning, or, and it was used mostly on turns and curves.
Yeah, we do that on Union Road. there's-
Yeah, so you knew what side of the road you needed to be on, or where you were in the road. But you can't enforce a single line. It has to be a double line.
But even there, you know, you talk when you're going, getting your license and all that stuff, you can't cross a yellow line. You can't pass on a yellow
Well,
line.
that's a theory, but we can't.
It's a theory, but psychologically for these people, they say, well, there's a yellow line, I'm not gonna get past, even if it's just.
Have you ever been in your vehicle lately with a double yellow line and had people go around you? All the time. They don't
I
care.
don't, but when they go, you know, if these kids would have get, and then, you know, the lawyers get involved, figuring the parents losing
Yeah.
child because of this dumbbell, you know, and then you get big stupid, obviously.
Yeah, they are.
I don't know.
I know.
All
All right,
It's
we
gonna
can-
happen, but that's the reason why I came. And the other thing. You're thinking that, you've got me down as chairman of the wild trail over there. But I'd like to see somebody younger get in there and get a group so that they can keep it maintained. You know, we've been doing this for years, but I was talking about, you know, the trails and stuff. It's important that we keep it maintained. I can't.
Your voice got.
Okay, Brian?
If you guys would like, I can get a price on striping some of our busier roads, like Union Road, for example. We are gonna have a huge influx of traffic with that stuff. It's not budgeted for this year, but we can be prepared for it for next year. I mean, that hotel is gonna pick up
I think it's a good
a
idea.
lot of traffic, but it needs to be double yellow so it can get.
It has to be double yellow,
Get
right.
in there. Union Road should be 11-foot lanes, so I think it would cut the lane down to 10.5-foot lanes with no problem.
Either that or we just get on the John Deere mower and start driving around the secondary project. So we'll handle that. Right. Yes, yeah.
It's not required to strike them, and it's a huge expense.
I think the last time we looked into that, a few years ago, we looked into that and it was very expensive.
Like Union Road, Brown Hill Road, some of the bigger
Mhm.
high influx traffic roads, I can get some prices on it, see.
No, that won't hurt.
I mean, doesn't, at least we can discuss it so that at least,
Guys wanna move forward with that next year, we'll have some numbers to put it in the budget.
yeah.
It will mean a budget.
In 1980, in the 80s, the state of New Hampshire came around and painted all.
Everything, yeah, but
And
now,
just like they did the signs a few years ago, and we were supposed to keep it up, and obviously we didn't.
we don't have the money. Cause the state keeps taking all of our
Well,
money.
I know, but if you were just talking about $5,000 to $6,000 for
Yeah.
vacation stuff.
Yeah.
And, you know.
Well, we'll be able to notify everybody when there's an accident on one of
I'll
these
change one
roads.
line and stop
Change
sign.
one line and one.
Well, I mean, You already got that, whether or not, you got all those other things.
Yeah. All right,
As John will read.
all right, thank you.
Yeah.
We're done with our public comments. Board of Selectmen, future agenda items. I think oh, you have something.
Yeah.
All right,
I know you probably don't have answers today, but if you can get it for us, I'm gonna read what I wrote. An update on the status of townwide operating budgets. So in other words, all the departments, so what did the first half of the year, what did the first half of the year look like? You know, as far as the budget goes, and are the expenditures that we have on track for the second half of the budgeted monies that we have? And then also, is there any other unanticipated expenses that we're gonna face before December 31st? Going through this year. So we're halfway through the budget year, we got another half of the budget year to go. Where are we sitting? Because I'm not sure about the rest of the board here, but I'm a little nervous on the fall tax bill. Yeah, fall tax bill raise a lot of eyebrows, so need to be prepared where we are with our own budgets going in here. Then the other thing was, we mentioned it once before, but an update on the status of the school's operating budget. So we need budget communications and contract, I believe it's a contract year, anticipations for them. It'd be nice to get a joint meeting with us, the budget committees, to find out where school's going and where we're going.
How would I invite them to the joint meeting? So they can.
have them come to one of the selectmen's meetings.
Huh?
Have them have the school board come to one of our selectmen's meetings, or however they want to instruct their superintendent as well as their finance person to come before us.
Cause this could be tough 27. We're passing this budget.
It's unfortunately.
My
tough
thing,
on us.
everything is not
They
sure.
get what they
It's
want.
tough on us, but we need to know where they're going, and what they're gonna present.
If I want $10.5 million to put the air breathing system in the buildings.
I thought they did that this year.
No, they're putting so much money away supposedly each year until they get to that point.
That's right.
But I don't know,
Yeah.
I don't know.
But if the state comes in, and does an air.
Of
they
course.
check the school before.
Yeah.
Did they get that grant? Are they
Um,
going to do a congressional grant for that?
I
I
don't.
know they applied for it, I don't know if it was approved. But I know we talked about earlier in the beginning of the meeting, but you're gonna have to get ready for budgets coming up in August to give to them, so I think we should probably know where we're sitting right
I
now
didn't realize that.
as we move into the fall.
So, yeah,
I have to do the same thing where I am now, so I'm thinking ahead.
well, and again, their union contracts will be, I don't even know where they are with that.
Pretty big.
Well,
So
right, so. But, as a but, the union contract is a huge number. And to have them here without a contract yet. Okay, it's gonna be a waste of time. So I don't know where they are with that contract. It might behoove maybe to do a little read, find out where they are with that contract. Have they come to an agreement? I imagine they have to by a certain time, you know, we had to with ours. So that might be a question to ask. Right out
they're also gonna tell us what they have for contracts going
That's our
into, going
review.
into next year that
Yeah.
are associated to the building or
Yeah,
the
yeah.
air control systems
Yeah.
or anything else, so.
But I think we have every right to ask for that information and be kept up, seeing we have to write the check from our office and get all the.
The first call would be to Tracy, because I think she has that information.
Does she?
Believe so.
Oh, that's right, because Tracy actually sits on that advisory.
We just-
So,
We just
Yeah.
definitely need to be ready for this, because it's not gonna go well.
Yeah.
Just not.
Well, and as we all know, if we, the ones of us that attended the recount. If. Half of those people that were at the recount that didn't vote, that we know how they were going to vote, showed up, we wouldn't have a budget right That's for sure. So this year's going to be even.
Be harder.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So you thought last year took a lot of effort. It's
Yeah.
crazy this year.
Yep. It is. Do
All
we have any board or committee?
Blame us.
Do we have any board or committee reports? No, we don't.
No.
Our next meeting is,
I do have a.
Oh, you do?
One question.
yeah,
What are we doing about the mess down on 140? Every time clean up, that was gonna be a lumberyard or a piggery, I don't know. You know, standing water in there, which I don't know, I think it's gray water, to be quite frank with you.
You did.
And.
well, I know Sharon, the last meeting, John, said that they were on it and he is gradually cleaning it up, not fast enough. And then I went by the other day, there's this big boat and trailer, but it's free.
Oh, the boat's free, not the trailer.
Oh, you gotta buy the
You gotta
trailer,
buy the boat, or take the boat, and if you want the trailer.
okay,
Going up.
whatever.
It's the talk of the town, everybody's talking about
I'm
That's
sorry,
the first
what?
thing you see.
it. The talk of the town.
Well, in Belmont.
Yeah.
Shithole.
Our land use department, code enforcement is
On
on it and working with him, it's. I don't wanna say consecutively, is working with the homeowner.
You know, the sad, this is another case, and I know that the courts are what they are.
You know,
It's sad, they're not, the courts aren't,
They're not.
I had that discussion the other day, it's a free country and you can't legislate neatness.
See, like,
You don't have to
That's
say-
the bottom line.
yeah. I've seen lately on Facebook, something about somebody from out of state was looking for a place that they can shoot their MR. I don't know,
There.
whatever, right? And somebody, oh, it's New Hampshire, you can shoot it anywhere, live free or die, shoot anywhere you want, huh? Sharon,
So,
Sharon has something.
I do, real quick. I went back I was at the ribbon cutting yesterday for the Gale School and I went back for the open house. I was there for a while. And I had a conversation with Carmen, who works with the Lake
Yep.
Region.
Yep.
And, she was talking about all of the town stuff that they had to work with to, make this project be complete. And she just said that all of the town employees, everybody that they've worked with to make, this project happen was phenomenal. She said we had the best staff in town, you know, so very high praise for that. She was very happy with working with everybody, so. I just wanted to mention that. So.
Good. Our next meeting is, thank you, Sharon. Our next meeting is July 15th at 6 o'clock. Do we have a non-public?
Amen.
Rob-
Motion to
I
adjourn.
No non-public. Can I have
Motion to
a
adjourn.
motion to adjourn? Do I have a second? Second? Favor? We're out of here. Woo, have a good fourth.
All right.
Have a good fourth.
Now I get to go sweat my ass.
Oh, shh.
You guys have your.
You're still recording.
Yeah. Even ritually, guys, I'm supposed to say.
Which isn't too bad.
That's not bad.
I don't get up.
Uh,